What's up, guys? I'm Tim.
I'm Chris.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Lance.
I'm Matt. We're from Ashes to New, and you're watching Artisan News.
There's not a day that passes by, the pain is not a mass inside, it's breaking me down to the ground. It's like I crashed and died, it's hard to leave your past behind, especially when you're last in line. And half the time it acts like vines and wraps inside my fragile mind. Hiding in plain view, it seems the same old shit I choose between taking who I used to be and keeping it subdued beneath. Close to dead and losing me, you took a chance and you believe. So did I let you lead and grab the line you threw to me. And through it all, you saved me.
First things first, guys, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Definitely appreciate it. And let's just jump right into the album. What do you think was the biggest challenge in getting it done?
There was a lot of challenges in getting the record done. I think the biggest thing with getting the record done was probably the fact that we didn't have a deal. So we had no idea what we were getting into, and we just kind of chanced it and said, hey, something's going to come of this, and luckily it did, and we are where we're at now. But.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And when you went through this whole process, was the goal to get signed, or were you kind of happy doing your thing even before you got signed?
We tossed up the idea of doing this without being signed. It was a kind of like we were down to try what was best for our situation. It turned out that signing with a label was the best thing to do, but it wasn't like we were like determined to get signed. You know what I mean?
I think there's never been any expectations for anything that we do. We just kind of, we just do it.
Just kind of wing it.
Yeah, wing it. Fly by the seat of our pants. Especially this guy.
And just give us, the idea how the band came about, Matt. If you want to just kind of tell the story of how everybody came together.
A lot of us have no quit in us, especially me. We were all in local bands, and we were all trying really, really hard to make music our profession, and just getting nowhere. Chris had went to art. He was pretty much done with music. He was doing photography and digital art. I started writing songs. didn't want to listen to anybody else anymore. I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to give my last honest go at it, and I'm going to make it something that I want to do. And it wasn't what he wanted to do at first. He was not into it at all.
He had to talk me into it.
Well, we just found out yesterday in a different interview that Tim actually talked him into it. Tim wasn't even in the band
I
at
wasn't
the time.
I wasn't even going to be in the band. I was
Thanks,
in
man.
another
I love
band
you.
at the time.
I really love you.
So what did you say to him? Like, what was your...
Well, he played me the stuff before the first EP came out, and there's like the demo version of it he was doing in his bedroom, and I was like, if the business end is handled properly, this could go big. Like, you should, it was like, yeah, you should do it.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So what I thought I sold him on was not what I sold him on.
We can still tell people
all
that,
this time. It's all a farce.
And I look at a band as almost like a team. Everybody sort of plays a role, like what they bring to the band. Maybe one guy's the guy who's orderly, one guy's the practical joker, one guy's So if you want to go around,
He gives out the ZJs.
Yeah, he brings the hair and the fuzzy animal costumes. So I'd say that he's more into role playing than most of us.
Lance is like the calming guy. Like, he's just the calm guy at all times.
Wanna
Always
introduce us?
calm, cool, and collected.
Hey, I'm Lance.
Yeah, he's got the NPR voice. Brandon's our mechanic.
Why gotta be the ZJ's guy? What is that? What is that?
You have to ask. You can't afford it.
So the mechanic. Talk about your how you got to be the mechanic.
I was just good at fixing things and been doing working on cars and stuff since I was a little kid, so.
Because you let them all break. And then,
You got
to figure out how to fix it.
Prevention is not the part of the plan. It's just wait for it to break and then fix it.
Yeah, wait for it to break, then figure it out.
He's got plenty of practice.
You always need that, especially if you're going to be touring. Like if you're going in a van, you need that guy. If you don't have that guy,
He always changes the oil and takes care of stuff that,
Dumps the piss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gets it on his hands.
Yeah.
dirty work. Somebody's got to do that. All right.
I'm kind of the dad of the band. I'm usually the one yelling at everybody because it's like our manager put it, it's like trying to herd cats. So it's like you're just trying to get everybody to go do what they got to do on time. So
Well, and it really depends on your mood and how long you've been in it. Because then people are scared to talk to you. They're like,
it's like the dad.
yeah, they're like,
Dad's mad. Don't go talk to
don't
dad.
go talk to dad.
He's in a mood.
Am I still grounded?
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that doesn't make me mom. You know what I mean? Like, well, talk to mom.
It's a modern era.
She's
You know,
gonna
we
be
can
like,
both be
"Hey."
dads.
Yeah.
It's just different roles.
Ooh.
Double dad.
I don't do much.
What was the question?
What do I do? What's my thing?
Social media.
Oh.
He's the man of the people. He's the mayor.
The mayor.
Mayor Matt.
Yeah.
Just reading the background of your story, you talk about, in the bio, making bad decisions. What were some of the worst decisions of these bad decisions you made, and do you think that you are now out of that cycle of making bad decisions?
I'm out of it. I don't know. I used to break the law a lot. I used to just do bad shit, and I get caught for it. I wasn't good at bad things. So, and I got into some addiction and stuff like that, and ruined a lot I things. And hey, how
Playing
you
footsie
doing?
with your drummer.
How you doing there, big guy? That's one addiction I'll never stop. But I mean, that's part of my story with From Ashes to New, is just going from the ashes of my life to something new, and the band was the forefront of that. So.
Was there one particular moment that, it's usually that one moment in life where the light turns on, or they say, I gotta really...
I don't know if there was necessarily one particular moment. I think it was a lot. It was every day just waking up after drinking the day before, and then just started drinking again right away, and doing that for like 3 years straight, just drinking every day. And it was just like, got tired of it. Like, what am I becoming? That was like 40, 50 pounds heavier than what I am now, and just terrible shape. Couldn't stand looking at myself in the mirror, that kind of stuff, so.
And it's one of those things, when you're in a band, though, a lot of people start off, it's almost the opposite way, where they start off, they're just playing music, and then when they get into the rock and roll lifestyle, then they start to get caught up in all that stuff. So, I mean, how does that play out with you guys, and how do you deal with those temptations that come with being out on the road and keeping things workable?
Well, I went right back in, didn't I?
Just for a hot second.
Yeah.
It's we try and keep each other in check. It was kind of another role of mine as daddy, is to try to keep everybody like, hey man, big picture. Let's get there, and then we can worry about partying and doing all that kind of stuff.
Giving each other mouth to mouth.
And
or anything
ZJs.
like that, or-
Oh yeah, okay, that's something else. But no, yeah, it's we can still go out and have a couple beers or something like that. We're not like dry or anything, but it's it's work time now, and we got to get where we want to go first.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back from the diner with Artisan News.
And what inspired Through It All? How did that song come about?
We just started with the chorus of the song. It was just about a relationship that I was in the past, and just kind of build off of there. I mean, it doesn't really, now the song doesn't have to be about just a relationship with like a lover or something. It could be like a family member or just a friend, but it's just about how they, after that relationship disappears, like how it changed you, if you grew from it, or if it just destroyed you a little bit. So it's all about change.
Yeah. And one thing, you guys definitely mix a lot of styles in your music, so I just wanted to find out what influence-wise, what everybody brings.
Oh man, I mean, we can sit here all day and talk about that. I mean, I think I speak for everybody when we pretty much all listen to everything. Except for Tim, I don't think he likes rap very much.
That's not true. I just started listening to
Oh, that's right. You
I
just
got
don't like
into
me.
MGK.
That's right. I forgot. You just don't like me as a rapper.
Yeah, whatever he said.
No, I think we all listen to everything. I mean, and by everything I mean everything. I mean, you even listen to some crazy, like the Bronx or whatever.
Mariachi El Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might be like, whoever's driving at the time gets to pick what's on the radio. And it's like, we're talking pop. I mean, sometimes Lance will put on like smooth jazz, or Matt will put on smooth jazz.
Lance doesn't need to put it on. He is.
Yeah,
smooth
that's
jazz.
because he's practicing his voice.
Yeah, it just is smooth jazz.
And Brandon's like the heavy guy. Brandon really brings the genty, like periphery, animals as leaders type stuff to the table. And sometimes, I'll get into a mood and want to listen to like some Dean Martin, or just whatever, the most random shit ever. So.
Is everybody open-minded, or is there one artist that everybody's like, get that off the radio?
No.
Yeah, I think everybody's pretty open-minded.
If that artist does come along, we just laugh about it. We just, I mean, we're in San Francisco listening to the Full House theme song. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll put that out there. And then it went to Family Matters, and it was like TGI Friday, TGIF in our touring.
For some reason, Jurassic Park always comes up.
Yeah, Jurassic
That's
Park.
Brandon's doing.
Yeah. And then we're all humming it for the rest of the day.
Then it happens.
And day one, why choose that as the title?
I mean, it just made sense. I think we tossed a lot of titles around for a while, and it was kind of like picking a band name, and it was just the worst thing ever. And then all of a sudden, just day one happened, and it just made sense. Like from ashes to new, day one. You know, just the beginning of us, the beginning of what we represent is bringing something new to the table in music and new in our lives. So you know, this is our album's the first day of that. And I don't care how corny it sounds. Now everyone can say that they've been a fan since day one.
You Only Die Once, the version I have, it closes out the album. I don't know if that's how, but was that the logical choice to do that?
It was cool to end it, it with a heavy song.
Yeah, I think I kind of had to fight a little bit to get that one as the closer. But I mean, like, just the way the song was written and like structurally speaking, the way it ends, You Only Die Once. You know, it all kind of just made sense to be the album closer.
Yeah, I mean, it packs a punch and then it ends really anthemic and.
Yeah.
Land of Make Believe. What inspired that one? That's
People thinking that they're better than other people. Stop doing it. You're in your own little world of make believe. Like, knock it off. You're not better than anybody. And that's just my fuck you to them. Who are you to tell me who I am?
what does it mean to you guys?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. I mean, that's kind of like, I don't walk around with my head up my ass pretending like I'm better than somebody. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's got their own battles they're fighting, and mine are different than theirs. It doesn't mean that I'm better than them or handling them better than them. I just taking it for face value. You know what I mean?
I feel like when you disregard everybody else's beliefs and opinions and feelings, that you're seclude yourself to your own world. Like you're your own thing, and who wants to be a part of that? I mean, of course, unless you're super hot like Tim here. I mean, I really want to be a part of your world, man.
Is there someone behind you?
Look at your hair. Come on, Last Samurai. Get the hell out of here.
You guys are playing in front of audiences that have never seen you before, so is that nerve-wracking or is that more of an adrenaline rush for you guys? How do you approach that?
I would say it's more just an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I don't really get nervous, really, for crowds. I guess it's more like technical difficulties or something like that. I get really nervous for that once in a while.
That's when I get nervous. Like, oh, we don't know if this is gonna work tonight. Oh.
The throw and go shows.
Yeah. Well, I really need it to work.
Yeah.
That's when it gets nerve-wracking. But it's adrenaline.
Yeah.
Like I'm just, we could play a half-hour set, most of the opening sets that we play, and it feels like I've been up there for a minute. And then it's done, and it's like, kind of want some more. But then we play an hour set, and I'm like, this is pretty long.
Yeah. About song 6, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
So, you guys, Lancaster, talk about the music scene there. What's that like? What was it like?
I left Lancaster to go pursue music elsewhere, if that says anything.
I think it's eclectic to the point where it might be a little too eclectic, huh?
Yeah.
Like it's really, it's a really widespread taste in music there. Like I think there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing if you're a listener, I guess. But if you're a performer, it might not be so good.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's too many different avenues to go, so you're not getting a concentrated amount of people.
And it's a small area too, so.
Yeah, it's not a big area.
The music scene used to be awesome. There's particular people in the area that I like to call them the virus of the local music scene. They just kind of did certain things to destroy it, and now I would love to be part of repairing it, honestly. There's some bands there that I work with a little bit, just kind of helping them out here and there. Because they were going to go to some of these particular people that have destroyed the music scene that we were part of. And, I think every area deserves to have a thriving music scene. I can remember growing up when everyone would go out to live shows. Like, that's all you ever heard of is people, like my sister, she would go watch bands at fire halls and stuff like that. And, bands that you wouldn't even know, and these places would be sold out. And now it's nobody goes out to see music anymore, and everyone's stuck inside. So, I mean, to bring that back would be awesome, to get everyone back out and enjoying live music again.
Anybody seen the fucking waitress? Been waiting for like an hour for our food.
I'm gonna go take a shit.
Me too. I told you I was gonna beat you at battle shits.
Still no fucking food.
Did you guys eat it?
No, we're sleeping. I am not surprised.
How do you guys look at success? What would be success to you guys?
Not have to worry about money.
That's true.
Yeah. I think you'd be able to do this without worrying about the bills to the point where like, hey, where am I going to get my next meal from?
Yeah.
Like, can I pay my bills this month? If this pays the bills and makes us comfortable, then that's really success.
I think that's a funny thing. People ask me, they're like, why do you want money? Why do you want a lot of money? And it's like, I don't really want money because I want to go out and buy a bunch of awesome stuff. It's because when I have it, I don't have to think about it.
Right.
It's exactly. Mark Cuban said like the same thing. He's like, I have all this money. He's like, the best thing about having all the money is I don't have to think about money anymore. I can do all this other stuff now. I don't have to think about money.
Right.
So
it's not even just about the money. I mean, obviously getting to go out there and headline our own shows eventually, and be drawing the kind of crowds that maybe like Five Finger or Avenged draw.
But to put your cable bill on auto pay and not have to worry about
I think
the fact that it's
the other though, right?
it's on auto pay. Shut off that auto pay. It's gonna make me overdraft. You know what I mean? But
yeah, no, you're right, man. Like it's I think the adrenaline, like we said about, and what it's like to get on stage, if you're nervous or not, having that adrenaline every day is like those people that go and dive off cliffs. Like this is our free fall. Like when we are on stage, we are like Brandon went skydiving. When we're on stage, we're skydiving really. And I think that's the best part about doing what we're doing. And I think if we look forward to the future, I mean, and I'm speaking for myself, but I assume that I can speak for everybody here, that we don't look too far into the future. We just take it one game at a time and then just keep working that way. And as long as we don't try and set our sights down the road and just build the pieces that we need to build to get to where we're going, we'll have a nice strong foundation, and then and then we can worry about building up from the ground.
And that goes for our team as well. Like
Yeah.
the team behind us is doing the most amazing job, like helping us make the right steps. You don't want to make those, step into those pitfalls where bands are like look like they're doing well, and then they make a bad decision, and then all of a sudden they fall off the map. It's like they are being diligent, we're being diligent to make sure that it doesn't happen.
And when you guys get together as a band, it's one thing that you guys are close, you're friends, but you mentioned before that you all have to have a sense of purpose to what you do. And that, I think, manifests itself in the studio. So were there any sticking points that you guys really had to pick yourselves up by the bootstraps to kind of get done what you needed to get done?
In the studio?
I don't think there's any lack of inspiration in what we do. So I mean, I think we're always inspired, and I think that someone's always got a fresh idea. So I don't know if there's any point where we're like, oh man, we really gotta get this, or we really gotta, think hard on this, or this is becoming difficult. At least not within the band. Yeah. Within the process, there was a little bit of that. So when you're saying in the studio, but not the band, you know what I mean? Like,
but then again, that process did make the album what it is. So you can't really.
I know. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking back on that, now that you've had some time and space from the album, is there anything you would do differently?
I mean, the end product we got was what we wanted, so I don't think so. I'll speak for myself. It was like, yeah, the process of getting there was like, had its challenges, but we got there. So no, I wouldn't change anything.
No, I mean, as a producer or whatever, I mean, there's some things that I would, listening to it back, that could be a little different, some things like that, but that's just, you ever see that meme of the skeleton sitting there in the chair in front of the soundboard, says it's almost done or whatever, I
almost got the snare tone perfect.
Yeah, almost got the snare tone perfect, you know what I mean? I mean, that's to be had by anybody that's writing or recording or doing. I'm sure that everybody here has got something that they listen to in the records and they could go, I could change that a little bit, but you're going to do that every day. If you continue to do that, you'll never get the record done. So,
what do you think is the greatest words of wisdom that you've gotten from one of your fellow artists that have been through it and done it?
Patience. Best word, patience. If you jump the gun on anything in this business, or if you get ahead of yourself in this business, you are destined to fail. Our manager said it from the beginning. He's like, whatever you skip in the beginning, later on, you're going to have to come back and fix that. So, you know, playing show, we played shows in front of 5 people. You know what I mean? We playing shows in front of nobody. It's one of those things that you want to talk about nervous. Like, that's one of those things you're like, ugh, I got to get out there. There's not a whole lot of energy. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of like pulling teeth. But I mean, the people that are there are awesome. Don't get me wrong. But
exactly. That's
one of those things that you got to do. We toured with Five Finger Death Punch, Papa Roach, and in this moment, we're in front of thousands of people every night. And then we go and headline a show in an area that we've never been in before, and there's like 6 people there. I mean, those 6 people were amazing, but you know, it's just one of those steps that you gotta take.
Helps keep you grounded.
It really does. Yeah.
Like we played in Japan. Like we flew to Japan, played 2 shows, 3,500 people, both nights, sold out, and then we come home and we play that headlining show where it's like, okay, just remember, you're not there yet, man. Keep put your nose down and keep working, because that was a fluke. You know what I mean? So
and to see Chris sad like that, you know, it really,
it's like seeing somebody kick a puppy.
It really, yes, it really is.
I'm off a cliff. Talk about yourselves.
You guys have gotten a lot of love from the metal community, especially, you know, when it comes to satellite radio. I know Sirius has been doing a lot with you guys. How does it feel to be embraced by the community?
Surreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all come from projects that I think by the end of it we were like, yeah, we're never doing anything in music. You know, so to just kind of like put this thing together, not really even give it an honest go, and then have Sirius pick it up and start spinning it, and then basically be the birth of our band.
Yeah, it's you know, because you grow up wanting to be in a band, and you know, you hear your favorite bands on the radio and stuff, and then all of a sudden the other day we heard ourselves on Octane. We were sandwiched between I think it was like Avenged and Slipknot on Octane, and then you just kind of like sit back like, wow, it's cool. My band just got played in between Slipknot and Avenged Sevenfold. Like, that's, to me, that's kind of like making it. You know, we addressed the question earlier. It's like, I don't know. It just I try to appreciate those little things when they come along like that.
Now you have all these fans like pouring in from other areas now, like, hey, I heard you on my FM station here in my hometown. And I'm like, man, that's just, you know, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's just starting to pick up, so it's cool to see that start to gain some traction.
If you could just tell us about the tour that's coming up with Hell Yeah and Escape the Fate, what you feel about that.
It's a tour.
Lance, you're very descriptive, man. Really get in there.
Getting to do a tour with Vinnie Paul is like, Vinnie Paul is one of the reasons I started playing drums, or like.
Chad's.
What's that?
Mudvayne's amazing.
Yeah, like Mudvayne was a huge influence of mine, and Chad obviously being the front man. Like LD50 was still one of my favorite fucking albums of all time, and obviously the Pantera with Vinnie Paul, and I listened to Hell Yeah too. So getting to go out with them is just, you know, it's no different than going out with like Five Finger or Papa Roach. It's a band you're a fan of. So for me, it's especially cool. It's like that bucket list thing. It's like tour with Vinnie Paul. Holy shit! If you would have told my 15-year-old self that someday you're going to tour with Vinnie Paul, you'd be like, okay, shoot me now. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, I think the same, you know, maybe not in history-wise, but the same goes to the Escape the Fate. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of their stuff. When they dropped that song "Issues" is when I found them on the radio, and it was just, you know, from that point forward, I became an Escape the Fate fan. So it was, it's cool to be with 2 of these bands that are huge at what they do, and they're very inspirational, you know, to what we do. And then New Year's Day, I mean, I actually just found out about them just a little bit before this tour, and they're great too. So I mean, it's just you know, we've been fortunate to be part of such awesome tour packages. Absolutely. And just, you know, just get to share the stage with people who just really know how to do what they do, and it helps us learn. And I sit there and I watch side stage, you know, every night, just kind of like picking up little pieces of, you know, what people do that works for them, and it's awesome to be a part of that.
Great. Guys, again, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate the time. Thank you for stopping by.